In the end, it was just the bad guys left.
So things may look a little different from the last video. I just had to do a little bit of a retooling. I think it works out a lot better now. It's fantastic. Yeah.
You got that right.
But yeah, unfortunately though, I guess once I get this video finished editing and posted, I'm getting rid of all these. Not for good or anything. I'm just going to be taking them all out so I can have more room for other figures and displays. I think 10 years has been long enough to have all these accrue into what it is now. But I don't know. I'm gonna take a break from Marvel for a minute. But I got a lot more ideas of things that I want to do, and this takes up a lot of space. And honestly, I think we can all agree about the content over the last like 6 years, 7 years. It's subpar at best. I mean, I literally have all the characters and the versions I care to have. I got them all, so I don't need anything else. Knocking out some of my favorites and underestimated. Yellow Jacket is a huge, I would say, slept on and hated figure, but I really enjoy the crap out of him. I think he's a killer. I really wouldn't say killer. He's good. He's good. I love this Namor pose. I think it looks fire as shit. And it's definitely equaled with the Tuma. You gotta have a little bit of balance, you know what I'm saying? You gotta have balance in your displays. The Black Order was fire as is before they got this 4-pack re-release, but man, the 4-pack's just killer, bro. It's so good. Oop. There we go. Underestimated Ultron, too. I'd like to have the SH Figure Arts, but, you know, I don't have that one, so this one's just as good for me. But they're all great in their own way, other than Kang. I mean, I really don't like anything for pretty much the new stuff, but I did call the Skrull thing. I haven't changed that figure since that version of the Skrull came out with the Captain Marvel wave. So I knew that was coming, but that show was awful. I'm trying to stay with the originality in poses. I don't really like to try and double them up, even though I'm looking at these two right now. Oh well, that face looks so good. Any way we look at it. Now, Thor 4 is absolutely the worst Marvel movie of all time. And Gore's interpretation is the worst as well, but I do like this pose. I like how he's cutting off his tattoos. Sick. For anybody new to the channel, I'm a diehard Kurt Russell fan, so any action figure of Kurt Russell, I either own it or I have to own it. And that's weird, but you'll see some. Hold up tight. Slept on figure number 47, Old Man Loki. I mean, not a lot of people like this figure. I think I got a lot of hate, but I love it. I had a lot of fun with this guy. I dig him a lot. He's actually still peg warming at my local Target, and it's 2024, so. And that's enough from the bad guys. Let's hit down to the cosmic wizardry shelf. So we got our wizards here, and yeah, it's nothing major. Glow effect in the back. Now, whenever Ollie's wants to go ahead and put their legends on clearance for less than $10, I'll cop another Wong just so we can have double white swords. Yeah, even though, yeah, whatever. So I'm definitely in the small group of people who actually didn't mind the Eternals movies, and I don't even want to really admit this, but I hunted these down and paid full price for every one of them. That's how much of a completionist I was with my OCD and all the Marvel stuff. Anyway, they're still great. I mean, even if you don't like the figures, they have really good custom possibilities. You know what I'm saying? Well, not necessarily those, but they were good for the display while they were here, but they will soon be gone too, and I cannot wait. Just the possibilities on what's going to become with all of this. I am really looking forward to it. So, I mean, it'll happen on the channel. Y'all will see it whenever I change it up. But very happy with the display so far. Have been for the last 10 years, so yep. Boom. There's been some other changes, and we're going to see these as we move on. I took away the tops from those. Stacked them on top. Now I got some cool, I don't know, individual little displays. I'll get backgrounds for all those and whatnot, but I'm thinking of getting 2 more cases and just making maybe a wall of that. Killing this, I don't know, just out loud thinking to y'all. And moving to the side, we're going to start with Monster Squad. Yep. It's fantastic. Everybody knows, I think, who's a fan of the channel. I love me some Monster Squad. Let's back it on up. Toonie Terrors, I'm not like into them per se. I just thought that the initial like classic characters, I kind of had to have them. Even though I'm not a fan of that goofy shit. The more realistic, the better. But even though NECA just released these are just so great. I love them. I love them. There's a lot of movie maniacs. Let's just hit those up first. So the whole top portion is nothing but classic movie maniacs. Everything I grew up with. So let's get back on track here. Killer Clowns. I am waiting on more things to build this shelf up a lot. I'm a gigantic fan of the Chiodo brothers. If they were to ever make Ernest Scared Stupid toys, I would have to have those. Well, because it's Ernest action figures. But yeah, the clowns were repainted and used in Ernest Scared Stupid. Whatever. I love Killer Clowns, so I say bring on all the merch they possibly can. So moving down from the Killer Clowns, we're definitely hitting up the horror shelves. I don't really like to open any of my horror figures. Minus a few that I've had since way before I became like a insane collector when I came to conditions and boxes and whatnot. But these are my favorite horror films. These are all lined up in coordinates with which ones I care about the most and ranking. So, Evil Dead starts it out because everybody knows that I love Evil Dead. It's the greatest film and horror film of all time. I will not stop saying that. Greatest horror icon and probably the greatest cinema villain of all times. You know, I'm not going to go through all these. Y'all can read them, but I think I'm missing 2 Jasons. I will have those soon enough. I don't really remember which one. Yeah. Now the real toss-up was this one right here. I didn't know which way I wanted to go with this. The first Child's Play is horror central, and it's literally terrifying. So is it, though. It scarred me more. So I don't know, it's a toss-up. These really do just switch around here and there, but they're there for now. Everything else, straight up horror stuff. How could I possibly forget this? Boom! I got the NECA sci-fi stuff too. So I got a lot of different things here down here. It's kind of like the overflow shelf. Tortured Souls. I love Tortured Souls. Man, they just do not make them like this anymore. That's so weird to say. Makes me feel old as shit. Leatherface here too, though. He will never be sold. I got him, I don't know, maybe I was 16 or 17. Could never discard him. I would never, ever disgrace him. So getting away from the shelf, let's go wide with this. Continuing on with Freddy, though, let's just say that movie Maniacs was my absolute favorite Freddy in my entire collection. It's just my opinion, but before there was 3D printing and computers really had the mainstay in sculpting and people instead had to physically sculpt the designs for these figures, I just appreciate the sculpt factor, and that face is... woo! Going down, though, we're looking at Unburned Freddy Krueger, and I'm very shocked that when I bought this figure, this is, of course, during with Toys R Us, they lined the shelves for so long, and now this is such a sought-after figure. It's just crazy. It's crazy how the game works. And I'm definitely not going to be passing on a Satan Freddy Krueger. Even though this movie wasn't that good, I mean, it was definitely ahead of its time. Very meta for whenever.
Do you have any tartar sauce for your shrimps?
And next up, we're going classic Ghostbusters. They're just cruising behind the TV for right now. I will have a space on them for display soon enough. But I love the 5.5-inch figures. Like, the fun level is a little bit there, and they were way more posable. My bro, they were way more posable than I thought. I mean, the likeness was pretty good. Some were better than others. And, of course, I had to get the Rick Moranis. Again, these were in display, but they change so often. Yeah. I like pandas. What are you going to do? I'll go over the wall real fast. We'll just start from Freddy and go over. So, Leatherface. I mean, it's just the amount of paint and detail. Granted, the articulation's not there from old movie Maniacs. I guess just like the new ones, hell. It's just the amount of detail and sculpt they put into it, man. It's McFarlane at his best. Yeah, he always came out of the gate swinging. After this, he just kept going with the Tortured Souls and I think it was the Twisted Fairy Tales. Man, they were just so great too. I'll have those one day. But, of course, Terminator 2 has to be in the display and the collection in some regard. And, of course, any Kurt Russell action figure will be in my collection. So, down from him, we are looking at Sin City. One of my favorites again. For comic book movies, easily one of the most accurate and one of the best.
Did you get them?
Yeah, I had to get those. What are you talking about? And again with Schwarzenegger, lining up with all the T-1000s. T-1000 Schwarzeneggers, T-1000 Schwarzeneggers. Creep show? Now, just thinking about this, I need to move the Evil Dead closer to the Evil Dead, where the Freddy Kruegers are with the Freddy Kruegers. So yeah, underneath we have Alien Resurrection. And people, y'all are not gonna like, I've seen this movie more than any of the other Alien movies, and I like it the most so far. Respectively, RoboCop being easily one of the greatest movies of all time. Sci-fi, 80s, any category you want to put it under, it needs to be there because they don't make movies like that for sure no more, bro. Not at all. Moving down, we have my alternate favorite version of Leatherface there's ever been. Hanging out with the other classic version of Leatherface that I love. And a forgotten toy line that nobody probably remembers except for hardcore collectors. That'll probably show your age. But these were great too. Toxic the Avenger. That's a Grail figure I want to have too. Either this version or the Super 7. One day though, maybe. Oh, look at this little guy hiding. Look at that. It's a Tarman? Oh my god, it's Tarman, bro. Empty Vader case. What are you going to do? Sometimes you got to improvise. Alright, now these were on display, but I had to take them down, of course, to make space. But these are my absolute favorite version of the Ninja Turtles. Right behind the Mirage. But yeah, they ride here for now. They will have a space in the display again soon enough. I got more down there, but there's a dirty sock I don't want to touch, so I'm not going to show it, but it's a bunch of 2-packs also.
Oh, giddy up.
From Snake Plissken, over the vent. Ace Ventura. Just thought about that. Wow. That's cool. That's really cool.
It really is.
This is one I'm most proud of. I'm so lucky and glad I found it when I did because I only saw him one time. It's great. His accessories and everything is fantastic. Come on now, Keaton, let's get real. Of course, any Michael Keaton action figure I will own. If they made multiplicity action figures, I'd be first in line. One of the best Heath Ledgers that I would say probably I've seen other than imports. But for so long ago, that face sculpt is so on point. Anyway, here we go. Moving over. 80s and 90s. Bruce Willis, of course. Pulp Fiction. Why would I ever pass on a Samuel L. Jackson figure? Come on. Ed Harris? Yeah. Like that man since The Abyss and The Rock. Not the guy. The movie with Sean Connery. Hannibal Lecter? When am I ever going to see another Anthony Hopkins figure? Buying it. The few Star Wars figures I own. Like I said, I don't pass on Sam. I don't pass on Jack. No, that's stupid. Phenomenal figure. Alright, next up is my Shrine to Big Trouble in Little China. I love it. I love it. Probably, let's go ahead and give a number on 3 favorite movie of all time. 3, third, it don't even matter. But I got them all. I'm only missing Lopan from this. Lopan will complete my set. And I think I'm pretty good with these 2 pops. If I find the other ones, that's fine. But if not, I'm just absolutely fine with those 2. But let's see here. Reaction figures. Of course, I had to cop them all. Unpunched. Not to brag, but it's kind of a big deal. Woo! Yep. Jack Burton Sideshow. Of course I own them. Of course. The day it got announced for pre-order. Papa owned that one. And these little guards make wonderful accessories because they really do fit the overall design and motif from some of the armored guards in the end of the film at the wedding ceremony. If anybody's familiar with the film, you know as I speak. But yeah, man, I love it. It's so great. But I do want to show my desk off because this is literally a random day of calamity. Of me just filming stuff, hanging out, doing whatever. Is anybody else's desk ever look like this? Let me check this out. I literally have a place of worship on my desk for Spot. What's that about?
Yeesh.
This dude, I don't know. You know, it's just a weird assortment of things that are always just riddled on my desk. Like, I just pose up random things. I'm like, I'm gonna come get to them later. And I just never really do. And then they just become like Christmas ornaments on a tree. Bro, jack-o'-lantern is so fire. I recommend anybody who sees them, you go ahead and get them. If you had fun with Cyclops, it's the exact same figure, but with way better neck articulation. Don't let that flaming head fool you like it's not going to move around. That thing can move, baby. It can move, baby! CT Toys 2099. It's good. It's got a squeaky arm. I'm going to have to fix that, but everything's good about this figure, bro. It's just what people were hyped about. And I'm hyped to have it now. Videos to come. But yeah, I'll just like pull a random figure out, hit some crazy kind of pose. Like I'm going to do some video with that. Maybe it gets a back burner hold on it, so they just hang out. And then they collect. And then they just stay here. It changes up just like the displays. But yeah, so that's the room tour, everybody. Thank you all for watching. Please feel free to subscribe if you are new to the channel, if you've never seen me before. Good times coming. I hope y'all had a good time with this. More to come. Shout out in the comments below your favorite part. If you want to see anything else more in-depthly, I'll be more than happy to do a short for you. But until next time, everybody, bye!
Tell everyone you know about fun is offensive.